to my channel. My name is Makeda. Thank you so much for being here. If you're a first time watcher, please subscribe. If not, thank you so much for coming back. Today's video is going to be my first and favorites from my favorite authors. So I don't know, I was kind of hard to say. I had to look at my notes to be like, wait, what's the name of this video again? I'm going to be talking about my favorite authors, and I'm going to tell you the first book I read from them and then my favorite book from them. Some of them overlap, some of them don't. So without any more rambling, let's get straight into the video. So I have my stack here. This is like probably the first video where I have majority of the books already because these are actually some of my favorite authors. So the first one I want to talk about is Cali Boy by Charli Meadows. So this is the first book in the Loyal Boys series. Yeah, the Loyal Boys series. This is the first one. The second one is Bad Boy and the third one is Lost Boy. I've read them all. This was my first by her and it's actually my favorite by her. So this book follows Finn and Oliver, and both of them are stepbrothers. So one guy's mom is married to the other guy's dad. So they have to live together and they have to go to the same high school. They don't like each other at the beginning, and honestly, for a good amount of this book is a little bit slow burn, but when the spice hits, it's so good. And Finn is like a football player at the school, and Oliver is like an artist. He likes painting and just art in general. So they kind of butt heads because they don't really have much in common. But Oliver has an allergy, as well as he's just like not really fitting in a lot in school, and these kind of scenarios helps Finn to kind of see him in a different light and be like, wait, I want to protect my new stepbrother at all costs, as well as I'm attracted to him. So you see, because of the situations, they get closer and closer, and then Spice hits, and it's so good. The way Finn is protective over Oliver, I keep getting the names. The way Finn is protective over Oliver is so good. There's a scene where he literally goes crazy protecting something that happened to Oliver. Like, just it's so good. That's my favorite part of the book in general. How protective Finn is of Oliver, and yeah, I can't say enough things. I love this book. It's so good. And Charlie Meadows is very underrated. The next author I have is Cambria Herbert. So I have talked a lot about her in my recent videos. I have read all the MM books in this series. This is the Westbrook Elite series, and some of the books are MF, some are MM. I've read all the MM. This is the first MM in the series called Wish. Look at that cover, it's amazing. And this was my first book I read by Cambria Herbert. I loved it. It was so good and it made me dive straight into the rest of the MM books in this series. But as you all know, if you've been watching my videos, Whisper is my favorite. I have yet to get the paperback, but Whisper, I'll put it somewhere here, is my absolute favorite. It's one of my favorite books of all time now. And I just love it so much. But this book is still good as well. So this book follows stepbrothers. They grew up actually, they kind of like they grew up like this. They were stepbrothers from like very young age. So I know not a lot of people like that, but they're not related. I'm sorry. I know. But yeah, so they are stepbrothers. They this guy, I don't know, but the name's too good. Max, I think. He is a tattoo artist, and oh my gosh, the next one I can't remember his name. I'm so bad. He goes to the elite college, and yeah, they are stepbrothers. It's spicy, but this one is actually a slow burn, and I actually like that. You see how they go from like, because this type of stepbrothers is not like this one where it's like tension filled. They don't like each other. They actually love each other because they grew up since they were young. So they are like very good. They like basically like brother. It sounds so bad saying it now. They are good, like they actually really like each other and they respect each other as brothers. And but they also acknowledge that they are not related. So it's nothing like weird like that. But they just don't hate each other. So this one, I'm so bad with the names. I'm sorry. He has had a crush on him, Max, for a while, like years, but and actually Max has have it on him as well. But because they're stepbrothers and everything, they just kind of like try to like not accept the feelings. But everything comes ahead, and you know the feelings will be accepted. Like, come on. And yeah, I love this book. The Westbrook League follows a swim team. So is he is a part of the swim team as well, and as the books go on, you see all the other guys from the swim team. And Whisper is my baby. I love them so much. I know their names, Arson and Prism. So Arson is the popular college DJ, and Prism is a part of the swimmers, like swim team, elite swim team, and they meet at this party where Prism and his other swimmer teammates are at the party, and Asin is being the DJ there, and they make eye contact in the party, and it's so tension filled. But Prism is very very shy, so he would never go up to Asin and actually like make a move. But things happen in this party, and the police come, and Prism and Asin end up in the same jail cell. That's all I'm going to say. Is they make it just so unique and so good, and this book has a lot of caretaking, codependency, acts of service. Like Hassan is the best person. Like he's literally husband material. And Prism, as well as being shy, he also has sensory issues and tinnitus. I don't know how to say the word. Where certain songs like really irk him. So he always wears headphones and listen to ASMR. And who would you guess the ASMR that he listens to is ASMR that Hassan does on YouTube. Like this book is just so good. I love this book so much. If you read nothing else that I recommend to you, please read, because I know you've read God of Fury, I know you read For the Fans, like I know, but please read Whisper by Cambria Herbert. I know say Sherwood. I'm so sorry. Please read Whisper by Cambria Herbert. It is literally 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6 perfection. The next author I want to talk about is none other than Miss Nordika Knight, the love of my life. I love her so much. This book is amazing as well. Like I love this book. But the first book I read from her is Garron Park. So I read that when she just came out with it, and it was getting a lot of buzz. Everybody was loving it and raving about it. And I read it and I really liked it because that was like not the first, but in a while where we have seen real true enemies to lovers where they literally fight like even 60, 70, 80% of the book they are still fighting, even though they're together. And everybody was like chomping at the bit for it because it's like, wow, this is real enemies to lovers. They actually hit each other, they actually fighting like literal fighting where they literally make each other bleed. And it was just so good. This book is book one. Garren Park is book one in the From Nothing series, and they are the bikers as well as they live in like the wrong side of the tracks, so they are very poor. So you get that aspect in the book, and it was written very very well and realistic. And yeah, I love that book. But my favorite from her will always be Little Demon in Details. I know she always says this is not her most well performing book, but I do not care. This book is literally perfection. But I understand why not a lot of people like it, because Mercer is very much a brat, like very much a brat, and he is over the top, and he could be annoying to some people. So this book follows Blake and Mercer, and Blake and Mercer, both of them are from rich families. Sorry, and Mercer is like, I've talked about this. This book kind of hard to explain, but Mercer's family is like the good type of rich, or like they are rich. It's, I don't know why they're so hard for me to explain, but I think Mercer's dad is like the mayor, so they are rich, but everybody looks up to them. Whereas Blake's family have become rich kind of by illegal means, and Mercer's dad wants to do an arranged marriage with one of Blake's brothers. So Blake's father is like, Blake, I want you to go and try to figure out why Mercer's dad wants anything to do with us, because they are like goody two shoes, try to portray this like perfect image. So why would they want anything to do with us when we have more of a bad image? So Blake decides to scope out the family and see which one of the families are wicked is the weakest link, to see who we can get information out of. And that's when he sees Mercer getting arrested while wearing laundry, and he's like, bingo, because this I know this is not the kind of image that they want to portray. So this has to be a person who is like trying to rebel against the family, because no one in the family will just do this, just like that. So he proceeds to take Mercer against his will and tries to like not torture, but tries to get information out of him, and Mercer is not budging. And we see them while they are in this forced proximity in this house, because nobody knows where they are. Mercer's family is looking for him, and we see Mercer start to show like very bratty signs, where if you're watching it from the surface, you'd be like, he's so annoying, like get rid of him, but Blake is able to be like, you are acting out for a reason, and I want to know what that reason is. And that's why I love Blake so much, because he understood immediately that Mercer is not just acting out to be acting out. This is a reason why he is this way, and there's a reason why he is rebelling against his family. And Blake wants to know why. When he finds out why, he's like, I will protect you at all costs. And it is so good. This has dumps up king, but no daddy king. And again, Mercer loves to wear laundry, so and Blake is so daddy, but he hates being called daddy, but he is so daddy. But like, I love Blake so much. But yeah, I love this book. Perfection in my eyes. I hope she continues this book into a series, and yeah, I just love it. The next one I want to talk about is none other than Miss Nyla K. We know her, we love her. This was my first book by her and also my favorite by her. I have read a lot of her books, but this will always be my favorite, my babies. I actually was just rereading it last night, like certain quotes. I love this book so much for the fans. If you have not read this book, please do. This book follows Avi and Kai or Kyron, and they are stepbrothers who hate each other a lot. Mostly Kyron hates Avi because Avi is very carefree, doesn't really like to take anything too seriously, and like he's not as free spirited as you would like you to believe. He does have some demons he's dealing with as well, or just like some self doubt. He's deeper than just being like this carefree, don't really care about anything kind of person. And we have Kyron, who is very put together, very stiff, very not like Abby at all, and very serious. So they bump heads like that because Kyron kind of understand why Abby has anything to smile about. Kyron also doesn't have a good relationship with his dad, but he sees that his dad is showing a lot of affection towards Avi, and of course that make Karen hate him more. So yeah, they start the book off hating each other and everything like that, and then they are going to college. They go to the same college. Karen is angry that why are you coming? Why are you following me to the same college I'm going to? Like this is just I hate you so much. But then their father business tanks and now they're poor and now they need to figure out how to make money to continue their life in college. And Avi comes up with this idea to actually, Avi's friend comes up with this idea to start OnlyFans, and Avi starts doing it by himself. But he knows that Kyron is going through the same predicament as him, as in they have no money and need to continue to go to college. So Avi proposes the idea of they doing it together, and the story kind of goes from there. This book is spicy, like five chili pepper spicy. But don't let that make you feel like this book is a spicy throwaway book. This book is packed with emotion, packed with feeling, packed with love, packed with trauma and healing and by awakening reluctance, but then embracing it. This book is stunning and beautiful. I highly recommend it. It is such a stunning book. Nyla K did that. This book has the praise it has for a reason. This book is amazing. I love this book so much. Next we have CP Harris, and she is the best. I love her so much. I have not read every book by her, but I have read a lot of them. And the first book I read from her was Bad Wrong Things. And that book was like a gateway drug to CP Harris. That book follows Raven and Clint. I didn't tell you how much I like that book because I actually remember it, and I haven't read that book since last year, but I remember it. And Raven, but I should say Clint first. Clint is a police officer, and he has a son, and Raven is friends with his son, so his best friend's dad. And it kind of has a ward guardian kind of trope to it as well because Raven starts living with Clint and his son, and that's kind of where the because Raven has been having a crush on Clint for a while, like years, but since they started living together, they started to ramp up even more, and Raven decides to make his move. And that book is spicy as all heck. It is so spicy, but it's very emotional. Something about CP Harris's writing is that the way she writes spice, but also just the way she writes her words is not only just poetic, because that is very true as well, but it's very raw and gritty and realistic. Like, like in books you'll read, oh yeah, they hugged or they kissed, or I like the way they smiled, or you'll see things like that. But she wrote like things you wouldn't really see in books, like the way they blinked, or the way their hands flexed, or the way like the sweat dripped from behind their neck. Or it's like she would just use phrases that you don't really see in books, so it made it feel way more visceral and real. I don't know how to explain it. Please read Bad Wrong Things and tell me if you see what I'm seeing. Like she would say things like he touched the dimple in the back of his of on his back, or just like things you wouldn't really, just I don't know, just like words and sentences you wouldn't really see, or descriptors you wouldn't see in many books. She did it, and I was like, this is written really well. She writes where you could see the book like it's a movie playing in front of you. I just love her writing, and The Fisherman is the same way. So this is actually book two in the Infidelity series, and I've read book one. I loved it, but this one stole the show. This one I would highly recommend reading book one first, because book one follows his son, and well, book two is about the dad and who he's cheating with, because this series is a series where every book has the cheating trope. So This book follows, I think I finished, yeah, I finished what Bad Things is about. Spicy, spicy, and so good. This book, The Fisherman, follows, oh my gosh, Frank and I can't, oh my god, I'm gonna try to find it because I hate being so unprepared. This book follows Frank and Leland. So Frank is very, very established, rich, and he is married. But I believe, oh my god, I kind of forget any plot of this. But I believe his wife is sick. Oh my god, if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. But he and his wife are just not really like seeing eye to eye. And Leland is working as a waiter at the beginning of the book, and he sees Frank across the room, and I don't know, he just sees like Frank is going through something, and then he proceeds to follow him when he see Frank walks away like out of the dining area, and he follows him to the rooftop of the restaurant. I believe, if I remember this correct, I need to reread this book. And they meet up, and he's like, so you followed me? And he's like, well, I saw something in you, and yada yada yada. And they kind of have a bonding moment from there, and then they don't see each other again for a while, and then they see each other again later on, and the story kind of goes from there. This book, the way she picks certain aspects of life and brings it into the book, so like this book is heavily influenced by daisies and painting, as you could see the daisies, and she weaves it into the storyline so beautifully, like it doesn't feel forced, because the tagline is maybe one day we can both be daisies. So you would think it would be kind of forced every time she brings up daisies, but it's not forced at all. It means something in the book, and I just love this book so much. It hard to explain, and a lot happens in this book. The spice is crazy. Frank is crazy. But more than that, this book is very emotional. There's a lot of art in this book. Frank like buys out all Leland's art, like a lot of emotional turmoil in this book. Because obviously they have to be kept a secret because technically he's cheating, and it's just this book is very, very not heavy, but kind of, and because of the cheating trope is kind of could be a little bit taboo in terms of just like being just the forbiddenness of it, because the wife is alive, and I can't remember if she's sick or what, but she is alive, and yeah. So it kind of the sneaking around, and then also my book one is his son. So the sneaking around from the son, because Leland is actually friends with his son. So the sneak around just makes it really like angsty, and yeah, loved it. Even though I can't remember most of it. I've read it. It's been a while. No, two more authors to talk about. The first book I read from her was actually Don't You Dare, and this book is Best Friends to Lovers. So they've been best friends for years. They go to the same college, and I believe it's football in this book. It could be cricket, it could be baseball. One of the sports, one of them does, and the other one, oh, I really can't remember because it's not my favorite by her, but I do remember the gist of it, where they are very, very like close, close, close best friends. But one of them is starting to question his sexuality, and he like wants to talk to his best friend about it, but he's also afraid of what his best friend would like say. So he's decided to play truth or dare, and it gets spicy and goes from there. That book is spicy as heck. I need to reread it because her newest book that's coming out is actually based on one of the, well, actually the antagonist in Don't You Dare. So it's going to be a redemption arc for him. So I actually need to reread that one, or just get like a catch up on it, so I could go into the next one prepared and ready. But my favorite by her is the River of Rain duet. This is my favorite duet out of all the duets I've ever read. I have a next one as a very close second, but I love this one. I binged it like nothing. So this book follows River and Rain, and River is this like happy-go-lucky guy. They play football. Well, he plays football, and Rain comes to their town and to their River school to join the I think it's football, the football like team, and immediately they hate each other because Rain finds out that River is openly bisexual, and he's like carefree, doesn't like mind talking about his sexuality and everything like that, and Rain hates that because he's dealing with his own in a certain like different type of way because he's been through a lot. So they immediately hate each other, and they are always fighting on the team, and the coach decides to send them to this like cabin to hash out their differences. So they are there for some months, I think it's over the summer, and they are in this like cabin in the like freezing snow by themselves to work out their drama. So of course they start off with them fighting all the time, and then eventually they have no one else to talk to. So instead of killing each other, they end up talking, and things kind of go from there. This book is spicy. Check trigger warnings because it deals with a lot. There's a honestly, kind of dubious slash non-concern in this book, well, in this duet, and there's also very, very heavy trigger warnings for child sexual abuse, and it is very graphic, like very graphic. So check your trigger warnings for this book. But other than that, this duet is amazing, stunning, amazing writing, and I want to reread it. She did that with this duet, and we need more of it because this book or this duet has the best grovel, and I feel like duets have the best grovel because you have more time to like flesh out the grovel and flesh out the third act or the just the breakup or the conflict. So yeah, I love this duet. The last author I want to talk about is actually Grae Bryan. So this is our paranormal romance. This is book 4 in the Vampires Made series, and I the first book I read from this author was book 1, which is called Roman, and that follows a doctor and a vampire, and well, not doctor, he's actually a nurse, I believe, a nurse, and one day he's leaving, or is either leaving from the hospital or going to the hospital. And while he's in the parking lot, he almost gets robbed, and Roman saves him. And the story kind of goes from there. He's like, wow, vampires exist, and the story kind of goes from there. But this one is my favorite, Johann, because Johann is just the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest teddy bear ever. Like he is the vampire in the scenario because he's always a vampire and a human. Well, not always, but this one is vampire and a human as well. But Johann is a vampire, and Alexei is the human, and Alexei is actually running away from his mafia family. And oh, God, I hope it's Alexei's name. If it's not, oh my God, let me check. Let me make sure. Oh, yes, Alexei. Yes, Alexei is running away from his mafia family, and he comes to this town and he sees Johann, and Johann is like, "You're my mate," and it's just so cute. Johann is the bottom, and he's a virgin, and he's like very, very sheltered because he was in this like vampire cult, and so he's like experiencing the world like a new person, and he's like very shy but also very excited to try new things. And Alexi is basically like, I will teach you everything, and you know where it goes from there. But yes, those are all my favorite authors. Well, not all. Those are some of my favorite authors and all my favorite books from them. I would love to do a next like version of this again because there are definitely more authors and more first slash favorite books I have from them. So if you want to see a next video like this, please let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.